Good day, boys and girls. Today it's a scorcher. I'm in the garage. I know it's hot, but I'm going to do a budget solar build, super budget build. Let's get after it. Let me show you some of the stuff. So I got the battery free from my son. He said it was bad. I charged it up. I think it's good still. I just think his car died. We're going to see if that bad boy is still good. Along with that, I bought these items from eBay. I'm talking cheap, people. Already had the inverter, already had the microwave, but the inverter is a cheap 1500 watt, not a sine wave. It's a square wave, whatever. I forget what they call them, but it's not a pure sine wave. It's a square wave. I don't want to bore you anymore. Let's get after it. Listen, no solder necessary. The way I bought on eBay is cheap, and we're gonna just hook it up to a 100 watt solar panel just to see if she's good. So let's get after it. Let me sit you down here. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's show you here. Let's start off with these suckers here. They're XT60 connectors. I got them on eBay. We're gonna need the female, another female. Hold on, where's the other? Okay, 2 females to do this project. And yeah, they already come soldered up. So all you gotta do is kind of trim them back just a smidge. So we're gonna do that real quick. Just strip them back just a smidge. Get these at Harbor Freight for like less than $5, just FYI. And of course, everybody that's done solar, let me take off this plastic. I don't know, that's probably the way it is. Okay, these things are dirt cheap. Got this for $9.99. These connectors, I got 8 sets of them, but you're only gonna need 2 or 3. But I got those for $13 for 8 sets, but it's like $8 for 4. That's all you're gonna need of these guys right here. So $8, $10. Then I purchased up these nice little guys. They latch onto your battery and then give you a place to tie down your connections. Now we're not going with any fuse or nothing with this project. Now, so listen to me. You don't want to be using this where you might be afraid something might burn down or something like that. I'm going to be using this camping and just as a test right now. I've got a lot of other, equipment, but this is just budget. Let's get a battery charging. And let's say the battery was just sitting out in the grass along with the solar panel. We're not worried about burning down. Nothing. It's going to be okay because we're going to be dealing with low amperage anyways. Yeah, but so yeah, this is a 20 ampere for, less than $10. $9. These were only like $8, people. These two, $8 for a set. So I got those. I also picked up these just to like clamp real fast. They were like $13. Unbelievable, not expensive. Everything's got the XT connectors, XT60s, so no soldering involved. Okay, I've been talking way too much. Let's get after it. Take this sucker, make sure we get the positive. They'll have little tiny positives on these sides to tell you what's going on. So the positive seems to be the flat side here. So I'm going to go ahead and shove them in here. Maybe. Let's see. Aha. Got to loosen them up first. Go ahead and loosen them all up first. Okay. Now, let's go. Just gonna pull on them, make sure we're nice and tight. All of them we are. Okay, so yeah, now you don't have to fidget screwing things in all the time now. Once you have this set up, and I will put in an output so I can run like LED lights. You only can use like 10, maybe 20 amps out of the load output. But what that does is this controller will either, if the battery gets too low, it'll cut off the load and not run your battery down too far and hurt your battery. So that's what the load output is on. And you can set them up for timers, 12 hours, or a certain amount of time to either come on or come off, to, you know, to turn on lights and not. It's a nice little feature. I mean, what do you expect for 10 bucks? Got that done. Let's go over here. We're going to put the negative on the negative terminal. And then they just snap right down. Just make sure they're super snug. But that's a good thing about this is this kit that I made, I'm going to put it all in a little baggie. And then I'm going to put it all in a little baggie. So if I ever need to just charge a battery real quick on the fly, and I have a solar panel, well, I can hook this up to anything. It's going to be a nice little kit. All right. So I've got those two on, and they're both tight. Okay, I'm going to start with the inverter. Now these wires are huge. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to cut them shorter probably. If this all works out, I'm going to cut these shorter. But let's go ahead. Be careful now. We don't have any fuses, boys and girls. Put that down. Now, we're going to get a spark maybe. All right? I'm going to warn you right now. We might get a spark whenever I hook up the negatives because that inverter hasn't been used for years. And you should use a resistor. I've shown that in other videos, but I digress. We'll see how big of a spark we get here in a second, okay? Whenever that inverter charges up. But I'm going to put the positive and the positive from the inverter and the positive to the connector that's going to go to the battery. So snug that bad boy down. Okay, snug. So again, the other cable, one's going to the big inverter. That's that big sucker. And one's going to this sucker that's going to go to the battery input or output, whatever you want to call, from the solar charger. Now let's get the negative. All right. Let's go on over here to the negative side. I told you, boys and girls, big spark. I knew that was going to happen, still caught me off guard. All right. Putting that down. Now, once it charges up those capacitors, it won't spark for a while. But, yeah, you're going to hurt your threads maybe by arcing and sparking. But, we're fine. Again, tighten that sucker down. Tight. And we got the negative from this guy. And the big wire is the negative going to the inverter. Now, we're going to go ahead and plug it into the... Always hook the battery. Listen, whenever you're dealing with these things, don't hook the solar in first. Hook the battery in first. I can't warn you enough, okay? There, I told you. We're going to do it. And look. Ooh, look at that. Battery's pretty much full charge, 12.5 volts. So I think this battery's going to be good. I think my son was wrong. But we got that hooked in. Let's just go through the settings here. 12.6, 12.6 and 10.5 is the cutoff voltage for if you're using those lights. Again, I'm just going to run through this real quick. Uh, 24 volt, no. Oh, 24 hours, yeah. B2. Let's go read what B2 is real quick. I think it came set for regular battery, but you want to check first. All right, let's look through here. Oh my God, my eyes are getting so bad. That should be real easy to find. That's all Japanese. B2. Should tell me real quick. Type of battery. Oh my gosh, people, I'm probably boring you. But that's all right. It should just be right on here. Got that hooked up. Got that hooked up. Let's go ahead. Come with me for a second. We're going to go ahead and look at that. Go look at my other video. I built this with an old satellite dish. Old satellite dish, non-penetrating mount, and an old bed frame. I made this. We're only using one panel. I didn't include this wire in my kit. I'm just getting us down to this. I'm just going to say you already have a panel, and you've already added an XD connector to your panels, okay? It wasn't too expensive though. Now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and stick this in here. That probably wasn't good. All right. Now see, people, it says we're taking in a charge. See the arrow blinking? And the battery voltage is already starting to climb up from 12.5 to 12.6. 12.6, I think that's where it's going to cut off at. I got to read up on this cheapo. There's lots of videos out of it, but it's set for B2 right now. But it's charging. So we're putting in a charge. Of course, this cheapo doesn't tell you how much amperage. It don't tell you nothing. This thing is very generic. That's why I say, be careful what you buy. This is just to charge a battery. And with one panel at 100 watts, so, 100 watts by 12, I'm only going to be getting like 10 amps right now with one panel, and 20 amps with two. And this can handle 20 amps, but I'm just doing one 100 watt panel. And let's say you cook something in the microwave for, say, 2 minutes. For breakfast. Well, heck, you got all day long until lunch, and then you got to do 2 minutes more. So you're running the microwave maybe for one person, 6 minutes for a whole day, just heating stuff up, or let's say worst case scenario 20 minutes. So it's just got to charge 20 minutes of 1,000 watt usage. So yeah, it's gonna be able to recover in between each meal. All right, we got that. Let's go ahead over here. First off, let's turn on. Turned on that. That's a good sign. Power level, we don't have any power going on right now. But no faults. It's on. Microwave is on. It's all a good sign. Now, I didn't bring the coffee out here. But let's go ahead. Let's go get the coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got my good old MT Homestead mug. Some cold coffee from this morning. Go check out MT Homestead. They're good people, all right? So we're gonna pop this in here. Ooh, first, we gotta make sure the glass is sitting down there, right? Okay, I think we're good to go. I don't know. Okay, let's close it. Let's start. All right, boys and girls, it's working. That battery is making this chooch. I mean, look at the voltage here. Yeah, it's drugged down the voltage to 11.6 already while running. It's gonna do that. But right now, no faults on the inverter. Let's see if we can get 2 minutes out of this old battery. And then we'll charge her back up. Stand by. Look at that. MT Homestead, go check them out. Free mugs. If you know them, they'll probably give you a free mug. Stand by. This is riveting. Do you want me in here? Do you want to see my messed up hat while we're doing this? I don't want to edit this because 2 minutes, you're not going to believe me. Let's go check out the voltage. All right, hold on. Let's go check out the voltage. Oh, 11.2. That's not very good. Maybe this battery is old and tired. But, and it sounds a little different because it's a modified, that's what it is, modified sine wave, not pure sine wave. So the microwave is not super happy. It's kind of making a weird noise. But that's okay. We just got to make a pot of coffee in 2 minutes. And we're down to 30 seconds. All right, battery's holding in. I want to see what the battery jumps up to voltage-wise once we're done. And that'll tell me more if it's just drawing down because of the load and the voltage is more. It's just, you know, being drawn down by the inverter itself. All right, we're coming up on 2 minutes. 7, 6. This is exciting, boys and girls. It made it. All right. That's, ooh. Lukewarm. This is a cheapo 700. Now it says right here, look, people, they'll say 700 watts. That's what it's cooking at. We're gonna give it another minute. That's what it's cooking at. But it's actually drawing 1100 watts. That's why I have the 1500 watt to run this. 700 watts cooking, 1100 watts to the inverter. And it's 1500 watt inverter, and it's happy so far. Let's look at the, yeah, see the battery's saying 11.4 now. So it's just being drawn down by the inverter. Once this is over, we'll see what the battery jumps back up to. We'll pull the solar off of it. Okay, we got issues here. All right, we might not have, that's not good. All right, had a little fault. I don't know what it was. The fault light wasn't on. We'll give it 30 more seconds. But the power level is not, maybe it's getting low. And this battery is not really the best. I should have charged it for a while. Things are alarming, but it's still working, people. Even though it was alarming, it was still working. I didn't notice that the first time. Let's go check it out. So yeah, it's hot now. It is hot. I'm enjoying a nice, so it's gonna take about 3 minutes with this cheapo to hit. Now let's go over here. Now see, the battery says, let me pull it up here. It says 12.4. It says 12.4, but let's take off the solar panels. And the battery still says 12.3. So it was just drawing down. It was just drawing down the power. The inverter was drawing down. And even though it was alarming, still was running the microwave. So that's a good sign. I think if I would have charged this battery up, you know, got it up to like 13 or something, you know, full charge, but now we got all day long to get this battery back up to say 13, you know, 12.7. It'll probably sit at about 12.7 whenever you disconnect, but it's probably charging at about 13.8 volts. Again, I got to go back, people, and read the directions here on this controller, but yeah, she's just, you know, we're back up to 12.5. The solar's coming in. Oh, let me feel these wires. Oh, yeah. Let me feel these connectors. Not bad. I'm going to shorten these wires up. Yeah, nothing's toasty. Let me feel them over here. Yeah, nothing's toasty. So I'm going to go with a win here. Free battery. Like $9. I'm going to say $9. Well, $8 for these connectors. $9 or $10 for the charger. The connectors, let's say another $10 for just four pair is all I needed. They were like $9. So 9, let's just round it all off. 10, 10, 10. 30 bucks. Let's say you already got a panel. I bought a nice like 30-foot extension cord that comes back to an XT6. Now it's gonna run you a little bit of money, probably 20 or 30 bucks for that extension. But I already had it. I just wanted to take this old battery and this old inverter and make something work. Again, good old MT Homestead mug. I want to thank you for joining me for this simple, no solder, super budget satellite build. It's like you lose power. And you wake up and you're like, man, I want a cup of coffee. Get some instant coffee. You know, look on Marketplace for a cheap inverter. It ran. I suggest a pure sine wave inverter. Some fuses to be on the safe side. But I'm watching this right now. So I don't need the fuses. I'll be my own safety right now. Heck, you know, get a cheap 700 watt mic. Find that on Marketplace. The inverter, find it on Marketplace. If you just want a pure, a cheapo old one, they sell these because people sell these for the modified ones for pure sine wave. I picked one up for 80 bucks, 1,000 watt, but it won't run this microwave. It cuts off at 1,000 watts. This pulls 1,100 watts. There's my dilemma, and that's why I wanted to make sure all this worked with a cheap, old, free battery. You know, make sure it's good. But it's good enough to get this project done. We'll let this charge for a while. Bring it up to full charge. I'll go read the directions to make sure it's not charging at the wrong voltages and stuff. And yeah, like I say, is it great? No. Does it work? Yes. That's all that matters. Well, have a good day, boys and girls. and we'll see you on the next solar project. All right, little bonus footage. Got this meter. Got to make sure these meters can do DC clamp amperage. Most of them do AC, but a lot of them don't do DC. You gotta, but this Astro AI CM 4K OR, and if you look, we're drawing in, 4.4 amps with one panel. So take 4.4 times, say what the voltage is, 12.8 right now. 12.8 times 4.4 will give you the wattage. So 12 times, I don't know, you do the math, huh? But what I want to show is, like, see this, I can aim it. It needs to be tilted more to get the sun more. I can do that with that setting underneath there. But all right, I let it charge all day long. We're up to 14.5. It should start floating at 14.6 and cut down the amperage going into it. But yeah, with the mount, I was able to steer it into the sun all day long, and it's going really well. And yeah, we're sitting at 14.5. So yeah, whenever I microwaved that, it was really low. This battery wasn't fully topped off, so yeah, it should run the microwave for a lot longer than what I was having issues with the inverter, because now this battery is, like I say, getting tapped off.